Greetings, Trey here with Axanar Comics. Welcome to the Koriana VI stop motion comic video. I know some of you are thinking, Trey, Arcanus 4 is only halfway done and you're already coming out with Koriana VI stop motion comic video? That is correct. First, I want to say thank you to McCrary, who illustrated Koriana VI and worked very hard on this comic with me. Also, I want to thank Adega Outlaw for lending the use of his voice for the narration. Now, without further ado,
Stardate 2242.6. The elements of this story take place during a battle of Koriana VI in the very first 6 months of the 4 Years' War with the Klingons. During this time of war, the Klingons, with their harsh, aggressive tactics and bloodthirsty conquest for victory, took no prisoners and left no survivors. The planets the Klingons conquered were left on fire after their orbital bombardments, leaving everything burning or burnt to the ground. Make no mistake about it, this was war, where the Klingons were always ruthless with their march across Federation space. Always. Despite this, though, both sides suffered heavy losses. Since the beginning of the war, Starfleet had been outmanned and ill-prepared for battle. Having to enlist men and women, most still considered children, being fast-tracked through the academy and boot camp so that they could be rushed to the front lines to defend the Federation. Heavy losses for the Klingons as well, though in the beginning, it sure didn't seem like it. Even now, it was hard to tell. But what was known is that the Klingons had thrown everything they had into the campaign against the Federation. Many of the Klingon fleet battle squadron crews were young warriors eager for their first taste of combat, of blood, all ready for the glory of battle, and even more so to die for the great Kahless incarn the Undying's name, thus assuring their rightful place in Sto-vo-kor. And many did die in this war. From both sides. But here, on one of the moons over Koriana VI, 2 young lone surviving soldiers from opposing sides will meet. A young Klingon warrior having shot down a Federation troop transport only to have his own bird of prey to be shot down moments later. Now stranded and alone in the middle of the night on this rock, stumbles upon a young wounded Federation Starfleet trooper. The wounded Starfleet trooper, asleep by the heat lamp, unaware of the danger now standing above him. The familiar curved edge of the Klingon sword, the bat'leth. Looking down at his helpless, defenseless, wounded prey, noticing the hollow projection next to the damaged body, the trooper's family, no doubt. The beating of the young Klingon's heart now, so loud in his ears, he screams out. As he brings the full force of the bat'leth down with all his might and anger, smashing the rock by the young trooper's injured body. Waking the young Starfleet trooper, now paralyzed with fear and terror, the light from the heat lamp, the shadows of the night, making the young Klingon warrior to appear like some 10-foot monster from the young trooper's worst nightmare. The young Klingon warrior, ashamed from his inaction to slay the defenseless enemy, as he lied there, asleep and wounded, but now feeling more ashamed because he almost did. This was not how his noble house had conquered their foe in the past, was it? Not while they were wounded and defenseless. He wasn't supposed to murder this young Federation trooper who longed for his family in his sleep, was he? This left the young Klingon warrior distraught, now confused in his heart, for he knows that this is the enemy and he knows what must be done. How honorable would that be, this being his first time real combat since the war began. Up until now, his squadron had been attacking Federation civilian outposts and freighters. But now, here was his enemy. Not some helpless civilian, but Starfleet, the enemy. And there he was, his enemy, but not as he imagined. No, the young warrior dreamed of the day when he would meet face to face with his nemesis and have glorious combat to the death. Lying before him, though, was a small, puny, wounded creature, only a few moments ago asleep and defenseless. There would be no honor in killing the trooper, no great songs to be sung of his glorious, triumphant victory against his worthy foe. The young Starfleet trooper looking up at the Klingon warrior trampling around the edge of the light, like a lion circling the lamb ready to make its kill. What could the trooper do? The wounds at his side, bleeding through his uniform. Did the Klingon smell his blood? Why didn't the Klingon just kill him? Why was he continually circling the perimeter? Was this some sort of Klingon tradition, ritual? The trooper's laser was far out of reach. Tending to the wounds seemed more important at the time. Now wishing he had his laser, maybe he could scare the Klingon off. Scare the Klingon off. The trooper thought He was here to kill the Klingon, not subdue them with fear. All these thoughts and more raced through the young trooper's mind as he struggled, gasping for air, watching the Klingon stalk the edge of the shadows. The young Klingon is battling demons of his own, still unsure, pacing the edge of the light, battleth ready. Then, with no warning, he stops, his heart pounding once again in his chest, with blood racing to the warrior's head, making him want to scream again. Looking down at the helpless Starfleet trooper, the warrior's thoughts race on. He knows that if he were to kill his Starfleet enemy, there would be no honor in it. But if he doesn't kill him, and were he to return to his comrades, and somehow his superiors were to learn of his treachery, his inaction to kill his Starfleet victim, then there would be disgrace and dishonor on him and his house for all time. Closing his eyes as his posture slouches, he lets out a short verbal sigh. Then breathing in deeply, standing fully upright as his grip tightens on the leather wraps of the handle of the bat'leth. The Klingon's eyes look down at the trooper, now gazing intensely at the hologram to his side. The young Starfleet trooper, looking at the family picture, once wanting nothing more than to make them proud. Now, wanting nothing more than to be with them once again. The two lone soldiers from opposing sides make eye contact again. Each knowing their fate.
Jump down into the comments and please let us know how we did. And if you liked what you saw, please become a subscriber and hit that little bell icon so you don't miss a single thing. Until next we meet, live long and prosper. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.